Hi guys, this is Kiandra Call with FreshRx Oklahoma, and I'm going to teach you guys how to make hummus 2 ways. We're going to start off with a dessert hummus. February is Heart Health Month, so we want to make sure that we're eating things that promote our heart health, and beans is one of them. So this is an easy way where you're getting a sweet treat, but we're also getting our fiber and all those things that help with our LDL cholesterol levels. So you can use canned chickpeas, or you can buy them dried and soak them overnight and cook them. However you want to do it, but you need about a cup and a half or about 16 ounces of cooked chickpeas. If you do get them in the can, make sure that you drain and rinse them though, because that bean water flavors, we're not trying to get that in here. Okay, so now we put it in our food processor. Luckily, this is actually a very simple ingredient. You probably have most of these ingredients in your house already. So we have a little bit of coconut oil. Typically in like a savory hummus, they're going to use olive oil. I slightly melted this a little bit. You can see it's a little, but my trick is we want to take about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder, because we want to control the sweetness. We're sweetening it with stevia. A little trick is to add your cocoa powder right to your oil and then mix it before you blend it, because otherwise all this powder is going to stick to the sides of your blender or your food processor, and then you're going to be having a heck of a time trying to get it off the sides. And then we have a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to add that in there too. So it's starting to combine a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it definitely helps. So we're just going to see, we're going to have a nice chocolatey flavor. Now the recipe calls for about 2 tablespoons, but if you like chocolate, you can add a little bit more. I highly recommend doing a taste test before you pull it out of the blender to make sure that it is as chocolatey and as sweet as you like. So even though we are adding some sweetness, we can get a little bit from our peanut butter to some natural sweetness. We want to go with a peanut butter that has no added sugars into it, but peanuts have healthy fats in them and protein, which is also good for our heart. If you want to melt it in the microwave, you can. It makes it a little easier, like 30 seconds, and you can do everything. But we're not doing that today. We're just going to throw it in the blender. And then a little splash of salt. Just do like a pinch, just to balance out all that cocoa. Otherwise, it can be like a little too chocolatey. You need something a little sharp to lift it. So now we're just going to add everything and put it in our blender. I forgot we are going to add about 3 tablespoons of water as well, just to help everything incorporate really nicely. Okay. So here you can see it's starting to break down a little bit. You want to take a little spatula, not your fingers because this is sharp, and push it down a little bit so that everything can mix up a little bit more. Now, if you like it chunky like this, go for it, but I like mine really smooth, almost like a brownie batter texture is what I'm going for. See, that's looking much better. Now here, I am going to blend it a little bit more, but this is also where you would like to taste test a little bit to make sure it's as sweet as you like. All right, so we have made our hummus. It is to the texture that I like. I usually like to have this with like berries. Graham crackers are a good option as long as you're making sure you're not just eating too many of them. We want to balance it with fruit, or even like dehydrated fruit chips are really good. This also is really good in oatmeal. So if you eat oatmeal and you need a little peanut butter creaminess, plus you're adding protein, like it's probably the best. So let us know how you like it. For our savory hummus, we're doing the same thing, just the different ingredients. We've all just added it to our blender. As you can see, we've got our garbanzo beans or chickpeas. We've got 3 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. You know, with the other dessert hummus that we did, we used coconut oil and peanut butter to add creaminess. With the Greek yogurt, we're getting protein and we're getting some probiotics, so it's double good for us. We have minced garlic. I also like adding dehydrated garlic, like garlic powder. It has like almost like a smoky flavor since it's been dehydrated and ground down. And I love garlic, so I like adding a couple different types of garlic to mine. We have some mustard, about a teaspoon, about 2 teaspoons of paprika, and a teaspoon of black pepper, some apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, some minced onion, and some salt. So you can always measure out in your hand. This looks like it'd be about a teaspoon or so. And this looks like about more of a tablespoon. So you can always use your measuring spoons if you need to. But I highly recommend like learning your palm size. It just makes it easier and it's good to season with your heart a little. So we did add a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to this to add a little acidity and kind of cut through some of the smoky flavor and like the bitterness of the garbanzo beans. But it is very pungent, it's very good for you. It helps with insulin resistance and, just blood flow. Putting vinegar in your body is actually very good, but it is vinegar. So you could really kind of mess up your whole hummus by adding too much. So I'd say always add a little bit. And then when you're taste testing it after you've blended it, you can always add more. But the apple cider vinegar and the cumin, you definitely want to just be mindful. They're very, very pungent flavors. So you can see it started to blend up a little bit. I'm just pushing down the sides. I'm using my taste test spoon, but you always want to use something, not your fingers, because the blades are very, very sharp and we don't want your fingers in the hummus. That would be really gross and unsafe. And here is our savory hummus. It's kind of like a southern style with a little bit of Hispanic flavors because the cumin is very, very good. I like to eat them with bell peppers because it's like a perfect little scoop full of vitamin C, more than oranges actually, and it's low carb. You can eat them with your favorite chips, but you can also put it on a sandwich or a wrap. It's a great way to get a pack of protein, and it is heart healthy. When you eat beans regularly, it lowers your LDL cholesterol level that your doctor monitors for. And so why not make it delicious at the same time?